Welcome to FIU Football Weekly, Week 5. FIU finishes their non-conference schedule last week against UMass, a 24-14 loss, and now looks ahead to 7 weeks of Conference USA play. Coach Ron Turner, as usual, joins me. And, Coach, obviously not the results you wanted in Amherst, but your thoughts on this game?
Well, obviously we're disappointed in the outcome. We went in there to win the game, and I wasn't pleased after the game with the mental errors that we made and the penalties that we had, the unnecessary penalties. I will give our guys credit. They played extremely hard. That the penalties weren't because anything but extra effort. I mean, they were really, giving great effort, trying hard and competing with passion. They just got a little carried away and got undisciplined with their hands, got undisciplined with a couple different things, and, we had like 10 personal foul penalties, and you can't do that in a close game against a good team and expect to win. We gave them too much. We had an interception that was negated because of a penalty, and then we gave them 30 yards on one of their touchdown drives because of penalties. So that's the stuff we got to clean up. But our guys are working hard. They really care. It's important to them, and they'll do what we need to do this next week to get those things corrected.
The defense made a pretty good adjustment at halftime, just 7 points by UMass in the second half. What do you think defense did better in the second half?
Well, I think they executed. We executed a lot better. I think the defensive coaches did a good job at halftime of pointing out some of the things that we did wrong in the first half, some of the mistakes that we made that led to some big plays and led to some of the scoring drives. And the guys did a good job of taking it to the field and making adjustments and correcting the things that we need to correct.
Coach, defense had a pretty good goal line stand. UMass was down there, and if you think about it, they had like 7 chances after getting that first and goal.
Yeah, it was a great stop. And our defense has been doing that in short yard situations, goal line situations, stepping up and getting stops. They did a really good job over there. We got good penetration in the backfield. Jeremiah McKinnon made a great play. They tried a little flip play where they faked an inside run and flipped it out to the back. And Jeremiah was disciplined, did his job, and went and made a tackle for a loss, which really forced them to kick the field goal, because if it wasn't that loss, they probably would have gone for it on fourth. But we got penetration inside, and we ended up blocking the field goal. So it was a very, very good goal line stand.
And it was Vontarius West on the blocked field goal. He's had a terrific start to this season where he's really playing linebacker for the first time. Yeah,
he really is. He came here as a safety. He's at linebacker and really started the season as a backup because of the injury to Davison Coleman. He went in there and he got some playing time. When he got that opportunity, he took advantage of it, and we're very confident with him in there right now.
And another guy that had a really good game at linebacker in his first career start, Jefte Tillis in the middle for Trayvon Williams.
Yeah, he did a nice job. He really did. And as the game went on, he got better. We talked about some second half adjustments, and in the second half, I think he felt more comfortable. And as the game went on, he got better and better and was flying around and making a lot of plays and doing a good job of making the right calls and directing everybody.
Guys had a pretty good drive before the touchdown to Terrell Owens again. Thomas Owens, yes. I'll get that one. A nice fade in the corner of the end zone from Magoo Owens.
Yeah, that was a good drive. That was right after a takeaway. We got a turnover, got a fumble recovery, drove it down, converted a couple of third down situations, and also converted a 4th and 5 during that drive. Magoo threw a nice pass to Alex Gardner, check down, and he did a great job of getting extra yards and just barely getting the first down, and we ended up going down score. And then, we got man coverage, press on the outside. We worked it all week, worked it all camp, really, but worked it all week. And Alex really basically made a perfect throw, and T.O. went up and battled for the ball.
Second touchdown, Alex Gardner had a lot to do with it. Eventually goes in with the 1-yard run.
Yeah, he did a nice job on that. It was a inside zone play, and offensive line did a good job of getting some movement, and Alex did a great job of getting his pads down and exploding through the gap.
Well, when we come back, we'll have Jefte Tillis join us, and later on we'll take a look at UTEP with Coach Ron Turner.
Conference USA has a history of greats.
Be the next great.
Be the next leader in your community.
The next friend to a teammate.
The next academic All-American.
Be the next role model for young student athletes.
The next Nobel Peace Prize winner.
Be the next movie star.
The next doctor to change the world of medicine.
Be the next advocate to help sack hunger.
Be the next to stand up against violence and sexual assault.
The next captain to lead your team to victory.
Be the next great in CUSA history.
Be the next.
Welcome back to FIU Football Weekly. Jefte Tillis is our guest this week. Jefte, linebacker for the Panthers, Minnesota transfer, made his first start on Saturday, and obviously not the result you guys wanted, but 12 tackles, 1 sack, Need to go back and look at the records, but that may be a record by a first-time starter for FIU. Tell me about your first start and how you felt it went.
I think my first start went pretty good, and like I told Coach Turner, I just want to be here and contribute in the best way I can. You know, if that's 12 tackles, what I have to do to make impact on the defense, and that's what I'm going to do.
Overall, defensively, you guys in the first half, UMass got 17 points, 7 in the second half. How do you guys think as a defense you played on Saturday?
I think as a defense we played hard. I think we played fast. We did a lot of good things, but we also did some things to hurt us. And, you know, as a good defense, no matter how good your defense is, you can't shoot yourself in the foot. You know, and UMass is behind us. We're looking to move forward. We have UTEP on the schedule next. And, you know, with this type of defense, I'm pretty confident that, you know, we're going to have a good game next week.
What do you guys think you did better as a defense in the second half that you held UMass to 7 points?
We adjusted. You know, everyone was just disciplined. Everyone was accountable. Everyone was, you know, did their job. You know, play calls was coming in, and we just executed.
Now, you'd mentioned that you'd seen a little bit of film on UTEP's. What have you seen from them so far?
UTEP's a very athletic offense. You know, they want to spread it out. I'm not sure if they're going to run it much, but, you know, we have to prepare whether they're going to pass the ball, run the ball. You know, they're athletic. I think we match up well with them, and we just got to look forward to Saturday.
You're a first-year player on the Panthers. Not too many people know about you because you were in a reserve role. Former Delray Beach Atlantic high school product, went to Minnesota. Your last year there, they switched you over to fullback, and you want to come back home. You're a graduate student now.
Yeah.
Of course, the first question I'm going to ask you, Jeff Day. How'd your parents come up with that? What does that mean?
Jeff Day is actually a name in the Bible. It's in Judges 11. Jeff Day was a soldier. He was a warrior. You know, he sacrificed a lot for his country. He is someone who was a fighter. I believe that my parents, you know, at birth knew that I was a fighter, someone who can always overcome adversity, someone who would sacrifice anything for his brothers, and that's where the name came up from.
And you're the only Jeff Day in your family?
The only one.
Are there any other unique names in your family or no?
I mean, Juliet is a pretty unique name.
Like Romeo and Juliet?
Yeah,
okay.
my mother's name. I think it's unique.
Okay.
No.
Well, that's Jeff Day Tillis. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for
We'll be back in a moment with Coach Turner as he discusses the UTEP Miners.
At Conference USA.
Let's be the definition of a good sport.
Conduct and attitude.
Considered as befitting participants in sports.
Especially fair play,
Courtesy.
Striving spirit.
Conference USA.
Has a history of good sportsmanship.
Enjoy the game.
And be our next good sport.
On and off the field.
Throughout its history, FIU football has had several great defensive players, such as the Killer Bees linebackers, safeties such as Nick Turnbull and Jonathan Cyprian, and cornerbacks like Anthony Gator and defensive linemen such as Torek Williams. But in FIU football history, none of those players in their respective first starts had the type of first start that linebacker Jeff Day Tillis had last Saturday against UMass. Tillis, a graduate student transfer from Minnesota, recorded 12 tackles and a sack in his first FIU start. You have to go back to former FIU safety John Harrington in the program's first game in 2002 against St. Peter's to find such a defensive performance in a first start. Harrington had 8 tackles that August day as a freshman. Time for our weekly Twitter Q&A with Coach Ron Turner. As usual, if you want to send in your questions to Coach, you can tweet me at Pete Pelegrin, and we'll get those questions for you on the next show. Coach, Larry from Atlanta, he wants to know something about the running game. What do you guys need to do differently to get the running game going, and can we expect to see more of Anton Samuel?
Well, Larry, that's a good question, and that's something we're working on trying to do. I think the biggest thing starts with continuity in the offensive line. We have not had the same starting 5 in the offensive line one time this year, so it's always different guys in there, and we had 2 redshirt freshmen starting at guards that hadn't played a whole lot, and an inexperienced player at left tackle. So because of that, some of the continuity wasn't there. So we just got to keep doing what we do, what we believe in, and continue to get better and better as we go, and be patient with it and stick with it. We got backs that can play, and yeah, Anton Samuel will be in the mix. Last game was really difficult because we had very few plays in the first half. It was just hard to get any continuity and get any rhythm going because we weren't getting first down. So we've got to be able to do that. But Anton's in our plans. He's a good back. He's a good football player, and he will definitely be a factor.
Yeah, and he gives you kind of a little bit of a change-up to Gardner where he's a little bit bigger than Alex Gardner.
Yeah, no question about it. And, we've got to play more than just Alex Gardner. He's a really good player, obviously, but we got to get Anthony Jones in the mix and Anton in the mix, and we definitely will do that this week.
Coach Mike from Miami wants to know what the defense did differently in the second half where UMass really couldn't get much going.
Well, I think we just executed better. I really do. Like I said earlier, some of the coaches did a good job making some adjustments, fixed some of the things that we needed to be fixed from the first half, and the players took it to the field and made those adjustments. And I think some of our young players, especially in the secondary, settled down. Early, their eye discipline wasn't great. We made some mistakes, and I think they settled down and played with much more discipline and did a much better job in the second half of executing.
Jesus from Kendall, he wants to know what happened to the receivers last game. It seemed like Thomas Owens, Jonnu Smith, Joaquin Griner were kind of held in check by UMass.
Well, good question, Jesus, and we got to get those guys going, and we've got to try to find a way for them to make plays. Again, we never got any rhythm going, didn't have a lot of opportunities for what they were playing. They were playing some zone, and they were doubling to a lot, so opening up the running game, which we were trying and didn't have a lot of success. Get that success in the running game, that opens up the passing game. But those guys are good players, and they're definitely gonna have their opportunities.
Well, that'll do it for this week. For Coach Ron Turner, this is Pete Pelegrin wishing you a good week. Panthers and Miners, 12 o'clock Saturday from FIU Stadium. Until then, we'll see you.